live Wednesday night. New medical research identifies the most effective herniated disc treatment. As many of you know, we do lots of research. We're involved in 8 different scientific studies, several of which have been published. There's a major one that's going to be published this year. 1,200 patients that needed surgery avoided surgery. You do not have to have surgery. Remember that? This is our study. It was published, and it's archived in PubMed.gov. It's the U.S. government database for scientific research that's published in medical journals. It's also archived with the National Library of Medicine. We treat more herniated discs than anybody. We treat it effectively. There's a reason that it works so well. And the reason is I had a herniated disc and I had tried all kinds of different therapies, chiropractic, physical therapy, all the medicines. I tried everything, acupuncture, massage. Okay? I didn't get better. Matter of fact, I only got worse. So I went on a quest, and on this quest, in this journey, I was my own guinea pig. And what does that mean? It means that I would do activities. If I felt better, I would do more. If I felt worse, I would do less. And eventually, I found a way out. And that way out is now what we do in our clinics, and we do it exclusively. We're the only ones who do it. And again, we do it because it's what I did. And we've perfected it. And through this perfection, we've identified a pretty specific pathway out. Again, we do this because I had this problem right here. Now I can golf 2 or 3 times. I can golf every day, 2 or 3 times a week because I'm pretty busy. Taekwondo, 4th degree black belt. I do everything I want to do. I have no trouble. I'm going to define a little bit about why it happens, because the why is also the way out. Typical spine has 24 vertebrae. In between each vertebrae, there is a disc. The vertebrae are the bones. In between, like I said, is the disc. Disc allows for motion. Disc also acts like a shock absorber. What happens is those discs can start to break down. Whoops. Looks like this. Disc is like a jelly donut in the sense that the outside of the disc, there's a thick material called the annulus. Inside the disc, there's a jelly-like substance. The jelly-like substance gives stability to the disc the same way air gives stability to your tire. So what that means is when your tire has enough air, everything's functional. When you start to run out of air, you become a little bit dysfunctional. You can develop what's called a flat tire. Okay, same thing with the nucleus. When the nucleus is healthy, the jelly is healthy. It gives stability to the outer portion of the annulus. So the nucleus is designed to distribute stresses evenly in all directions on the annulus. The annulus bears a lot of weight. I weigh about 200 pounds in an upright position. I'll have about 150 pounds on the lowest disc of my spine, depending on my activities. I could have over 1,000 pounds of pressure on the discs of my spine. Looks like this. What can happen is through your everyday activities, you can change the angle of the load on the disc. And when you change the angle of the load on the disc starts to break down. How do you change the angle of the load? Being seated too long, with bad posture, flexing too much, compressive loads, rotation, bending, lifting, twisting. The tissue will wear out. It wears out under the activity, but it also wears out under the distribution of the load. Muscles go out of balance. One hip's too tight, the other hip's too loose. When things start to go out of balance, that's when you start to have a lot of breakdown of the disc. We have a problem called upper cross, lower cross syndrome. There's a video about that, but that's when things go out of balance. The key is to keep things in balance. And the key is also to perform daily activities to make sure that you don't overstress the discs. We have 22 tips. The 22 tips are designed to help you decrease the load on the disc. Okay? Avoid the activities that make it worse. And if you have to do those activities, what can you do to counteract that? There's things that you can do afterward to make sure the disc goes back to the better position. So how to get out of a chair, how to get out of a car, how to sit. If you have to sit too long, how to stretch. You know, what you should be doing for these types of things. I'll put a link over here, and you can click on that, and you can get access to those 22 tips. We used to have 10, but everybody wanted more, so we made 22. It's really everyday activities. How to open a door, how to get off a toilet, how to get out of bed. But what happens when you do those things wrong, because the reason you have pain that's not going away is you have something that you're not doing right, or you have a muscle imbalance. Both of them will cause the same problem, but that disc will start to push out. Over time, what happens is the disc will start to push through the annulus. It's called a herniated disc. When you herniate the disc, you have a lot of pain. You certainly have a lot of trouble. So what do? We have a process where we take pressure off the disc. We do it in our clinics. Some people can't get to the clinics, so we have a program that you can do at home. Okay, but the key is take the pressure off the disc. And we get healing of the disc. And then we make the discs stronger. And we allow them to heal and get the proper nutrients. Okay? It's this tear right here is why you continue to have problems with your back. Because you do everyday activities that then aggravate the tear. That's the key, is to make sure you're not aggravating the tear. So we decompress the disc, we take the pressure off. There's exercises you do for stability, you do them at home. Very simple stuff. Over time, what happens is that nucleus, this is a herniated disc pushing out. As we put you through the program, the herniated disc will physically get smaller. And then we add stability to the muscles and create strength. Okay? We did a study. And with this study, we compared traditional physical therapy program to our program in our clinics. And what we found with this program, we had 70 patients with herniated discs go through physical therapy, and 70 patients went through our program. And we compared them. And we said, what is the effect of the treatment on the quality of your life? And what is the effect of the treatment on your pain? Because pain and quality of life go hand in hand. And what we found was ours was 10 times better. Why was it 10 times better? Because we directly affect the disc. We have the ability to take the pressure off the disc. As we take the pressure off the disc, it heals. We have a very, very, very specific program for that. Patients that came into our program, their starting pain was a 7.5. When they finished, their pain was less than 1. So they started from a scale of 0 to 10. 0 is no pain. 7.5 down to less than a 1. Traditional physical therapy for the herniated disc, their pain was a 7.8 and went down to a 5.4. So they were better, but not by much. Still had pain of 5.5. That's a lot. I've had it. 7 is bad. 7 is you're pretty frustrated. 5 is you're still in a lot of pain. 3 is tolerable. 2, 1, no problem. 0, everybody's happy. Okay? They were less than 1. Less than 1. 10 times better. It's the most effective treatment for herniated discs. We call it the 10X program. Why do we call it that? Because it's 10 times better. And we know it. We're on our third study now, and the third study has 1,200 patients. So it's not a fluke that it happened one time. It happens every time. It solves the problem. So then what we did is we compared our outcomes, meaning how much improvement did we have in our level of disability, and that's scored from 0 to 100. So the higher your score, the more disabled you are. Patients to go through traditional physical therapy, and the average patient for a herniated disc is about a 45, so that means they're 45% disabled. Herniated discs can be very painful and can truly interfere with the quality of your life. Patients who went through physical therapy, they got 9 points better, so they went from a 45 to a 35. MADX program, which is a very specific program for strengthening muscles in the spine, lowered 12 points. Flexion distraction lowered 15 points. Injections, 17 points. Laser spine surgery, which apparently no longer exists, but at the time they were 17.5 points better, meaning that you'd get better, but your level of disability improved by 20 points, 17 points. Second fusion, so if you've had the first fusion and now you need the second fusion, on the second fusion you would get 17 points better. So your disability would improve by 17 points. Go from 45 to 28. That's 17. Okay? This is a $125,000 procedure, and a lot of patients will get worse. Or they'll be addicted to opioids. Because you're just not improving at the level you need to improve. If you're a 57, you're going to go down to a 40. That's 17 points. 40 osteoarthritis disability, you're 47% disabled. You're in a lot of pain. First fusion, 21 points better. $80,000 to $100,000 procedure, you're going to improve by 20 points. Highly invasive, highly problematic. Some patients are actually worse as a result of this. Our patients, and again, this is reproduced 1,200 times. It wasn't 10 times, it wasn't 100 times, it was 1,200 times. Our patients average in our clinics today and in the study, 27 points. 27 points better. 10x. It's 10 times better. It's effective. It works. The problem in the back is in the disc. Muscles hold the disc, but the problem is not necessarily in the muscles. Muscles aren't causing you all the pain. The disc is causing you all the pain. That's why our program is 10x better. We have a 10-step pathway out of pain. Follow the path, you can live your life pain-free. Matter of fact, you follow the path, you can be pain-free and you'll have the strongest spine you ever had. 75 strong, 75 days, you commit to the program, better. There's a way out. So, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. You don't like the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. This program can eliminate the need for 95% of all surgeries on your spine. Share this information. Share it, we can change the world. Comment. If you have any questions, put a comment on there. We're going to put a link over here for the tips, and there'll be some videos over here you can watch. If you want to subscribe, somewhere here there's a subscribe button. Click it. No ticket. All right, that's it. If you want to call us, come in and see us. 844-577-7329. We have the best herniated disc program on the planet. It's effective. It works for some of the worst back pain on the planet. That 1,200 patient study that we're working on right now that'll be published by the end of the year, 26% of them had surgery before they came in to see us, and they got better. They didn't get a little bit better, they got 100% better. So that's it. It's Wednesday. Be careful, be safe, stay out of trouble. 844-577-7329 is the number if you want to call. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate everybody, and we'll see you soon. Tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.